We're here back at Warwick Farm, Sean. Last time we were here we bought a few yearlings, but we're with David Pfieffer today for episode 9 of our podcast, Off and Racing. Dave, thanks for joining us, mate.
Not a problem.
Good to be back. We bought a nice Castelvecchio filly last time we were here together.
Yeah, nice athletic filly. Got a good presence about her. Got a good walk on her, and she's very presentable, isn't she? You know, the way she walks, the way she carries herself, but even too, just the colour. You know, her appearance is going to get a lot of people's attentions.
Real sort of not a single doubt, wasn't she?
Yeah. More not a single doubt than Castelvecchio, but it's probably got their size, hasn't it? Really, not a single doubt in Castelvecchio, but it does look like it'll go early.
Yep.
A lot of quality, doesn't she? She's caught a lot of people's eyes. We've had a lot of people inquiring and stuff, so no, she'll be a lot of fun for anyone that gets involved in her. And
she's already at the breakers.
Yeah, be good fun racing her together, so looking forward to that.
I thought we'd have to pay a bit more for her, actually.
Yeah, same, but I think it was just the sale, the market, wasn't it? And it was good buying, so it's good for everyone getting involved.
Correct.
And we had Queen's Rhapsody trial here a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, So You Think filly. You know, I often expect to have 2-year-olds by So You Think on the trials, but she's forward, naturally forward. She's strong. She doesn't really have the So You Think looks or characteristics, but it's good to go to the trials and educate her, and she's got a good future in front of her.
Yeah, she did it well. I loved them in the trial when he gave her that little squeeze, how she accelerated straight away like it, and then hit the line well. She looks like a nice filly, so she's pretty exciting. And Boston Rock's his half sister, so
and to be fair, it's only an 800 trial. Like she's gonna, I think, Dave, like we both think she'll probably get 7 furlongs, won't she?
I think that'll be a pet distance. I reckon 6-7 furlongs as a 2 and a 3-year-old. So once she gets beyond that, or once she gets a bit older and more mature, it'd be interesting to see how fast she takes us.
Yep, she's at the farm now, having a short break, and to be fair,
it will be short on her.
No, to be fair, she's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Like for now, things will change.
She usually lets us know, yeah.
But no, she's matured a lot since since I've had her through that press.
Well, she wasn't a bother in the stables. She was easy to deal with. Anyone could ride her.
Yep.
You know, she's professional and done a job where some of these So You Thinks at times can get a bit hot and get themselves a bit wound up unnecessarily. But her temperament's been really good.
Yeah, she's with one of our other yearlings, fillies, and I thought, we'll see how this goes. But I mean, she's fantastic. Yeah, it's good.
It's good seeing her mature that way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. Now she'll do well and come back in, and we'll see how far we get next prep with her. But we'll get into a bit about you, Dave. So, what was the initial interest in horses? How did you get involved in them from a young age?
Well, I've been around here, Warwick Farm, for 25 years, maybe even longer. Went to school in Liverpool. I
bred them tough, mate, Liverpool.
bred them really tough. Bred to the bone. I was actually the paper boy for a little while when I was in primary school, and that's how I started meeting a few people at the stables. And when I got to high school, I ended up working afternoons in a stable, and it just sort of slowly grew from there, really. I was with Tony Wildman years ago, and then when I came out of school, I was sort of a bit lost in my way of where I was going to go, so I started working full time for Tony and never left.
And why did you want to become a trainer?
I don't think I ever had the ambition to want to be a trainer. I think it's just something that fell upon me, really. I was with Tony for a long time, and he got sick with cancer, and I went and was falling for a couple of other trainers. I was falling for Graham Rodson for a while and Rod Craig for a while, and then from there it was like, well, Tony's not going to quite come right, and he had all these clients and these owners and horses, and thought, well, take the opportunity while I can.
So you basically took over his clients in his yard now?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Started off in his yard and a handful of his owners, and then slowly grew up my own little establishment. And
So timing was a big part of it.
It was. I was probably, I look back at it now, and I was probably a bit premature, just my age and so forth, but that sort of forced you to develop quickly and get into it a lot quicker than I thought I would.
That would have been a good start, having that client base. And did you take over his facilities as well? Or?
So Tony lived at Warwick Farm. He had a place there on Bull Street. The house he had probably 15 to 20 boxes and a walking machine, so I started off in his backyard, but I also got to sit in the back porch and have a chat to him every afternoon, and talk about the horse and bits and pieces. It sort of kept him involved as well while he's sort of battling his illness. But also helped me with a bit of direction and whatnot. So when he did pass, it sort of left a bit of a hole in me because you're sort of used to that atmosphere where you can have a chat and bounce ideas off each other and whatnot. So off the back of that, it sort of made you mentally think about more things yourself and take on more challenges yourself.
Who were your mentors, mate, would you say, when you first started?
Oh, it'd be mainly Tony Wildman. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's a few people who asked a lot of questions. I would have annoyed a lot of people back in the day just asking
Still
questions.
do.
Yeah. Keep it down, George. So I'll pick on you in a minute.
And did he influence the style of trainer that you are, do you think? Or
I've adopted a lot of him, and then also too just taking on board what other people have done, how they've managed certain horses, but it's a wide range of them. Whether you're taking on training methods from babies to older horses to just educating them. So, how you manage an old horse who's got joint issues, or you're educating a young horse, or you're training horses that want a lot of work and not so much a lot of ground. So you just got to take on all aspects and read individual horses.
Do you find with especially with like the shuttle stallions and stuff coming over all the time from America and Europe, that you constantly have to evolve how you train the horses and adapt?
I think you've always got to be reviewing an animal in itself, really. It's every horse a little bit different, and as we touched on before with Queen's Rhapsody, if I treat her like a normal So You Think filly, she's probably still out in the paddock, but treating her like a horse who was mentally ready and physically ready, and that's why we go to the trials as preparation. But it's just reviewing each individual and seeing what they can and can't take on.
yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it? Is treating them as an individual.
Yeah, it's like having dogs in your backyard. They're not the same breed.
Kids at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've all got different personalities, and they can all react to different things, and food and work and regimes and schedules are all different.
And for the listeners at home, you've obviously got stayers, you've got sprinters. What's the difference in training the two, from your opinion?
I think stayers you obviously want with the longer work and so forth, but even so many stayers, you don't necessarily all have to have the big long work and get miles in their legs. It's reading the individual again. So same again with sprinters. So I'd treat, let's say Saturday's runners, I'd treat Mad Darcy completely different to what I would Angel Fund when they come out of the race. You treat Windchat completely different to what you would them to. So it's just treating the horse as what they can cope with.
And the stable's just flying at the moment, isn't it? Like it's so consistent across the board.
Yeah, it's going great of late. As you said, it's very consistent. The runners that are running, if they're not winning, they're running top three. So it's a real credit to the stable and the staff, and it's good for all the owners and the people and existing owners and people that are getting on board.
How many, we spoke on the phone the other way, how many seconds did you have in the last 50 or something?
Oh, it was getting up there. I think it was getting to about 14. It was getting.
And I said, man, second, there's nothing wrong with second. Like,
Oh, my dad used to always tell me you're still the first loser. So.
Yeah. Second's better than third, but it's when you sit back and review the overall scheme, but it's at least they're racing well.
100%.
Yeah.
It's an owner. If you're
But they're
running,
not racing in bad races either. Like
Oh.
they're all provincial or
City.
midweek Saturdays.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But as an owner, if they're racing well and they're racing consistent, they're making money. That's what it's all about. Everyone wants to win races.
and minimal benchmark points.
Yeah, well, that's right. Exactly right. So sometimes you've got to beat the handicap sometimes.
How many do you have in work then?
There's 33 there at the moment.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's pretty manageable number that you can figure out each horse as an individual.
Yeah, that's when you're at that size, it's easier to be able to put individual efforts into each horse and so forth. And when you get a bit bigger, it obviously means you've got to align staff more and having the right staff around you to be able to cope with those numbers.
And what would you realistically like to get up to in time?
Oh, I'm probably happy with the 30 to 40 number.
Yeah.
It's a good style of the number. It's you weigh it on the staff you've got and how you can run and manage the team. So
And you're hands-on too, like, you want to keep that, don't you?
well, it's at the age I am. It makes it easy to do it.
In your prime, mate.
Living right, yeah. So, but when you get bigger, it means you're relying on more people. And, it's since COVID, it's always been tougher now to find the right staff to get around you.
So
And-
no ambitions like to go to a Randwick or anything like that?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. No, I think if I went to Randwick, I'd get myself in too much trouble, I reckon. I've done a stint in
There's no point going to Rose Hill.
No, at least I get plenty used to close proper. Yeah, no, I had a stint at Randwick when I was forming for Rogerson, and yeah, let's just say I made full use of the
Coogee, Bondi,
the nightlife. Yeah. So, but anyway, that's in the,
The
past.
the seconds turn into ninths and tenths.
Yeah.
That was my first sail when I came over to Australia, and we were staying in Coogee. I was like, this is the greatest place on earth. Why am I leaving?
Yeah, yeah.
You've won some big races. What's the best horse that you think you've trained? Not the best race, but the best horse that people might or might not know.
First good horse I had was probably Graceful Anna. This is only a couple of years into my training. She won 5 of her first 6 starts, including a Wyong Magic Millions and a Gold Coast Magic Millions as a 3-year-old. She probably wasn't a brilliant filly, just very honest. From year to year, I managed to always pick up a really nice horse. The next one is probably a horse I bought at sales, I think, out of a sprinting family, which I've really adored. He's called I Thought So. I think
Was that the one Huey rode at Gosford?
Yes,
Yep.
yep. He ran off the track, cost off the race in the Gosford Guineas. I still feel he's probably one of the better horses I've put a saddle on. Just probably picked up too many bad habits while he was a colt, and probably just didn't evolve as he should have.
But he was a proper animal, wasn't he?
Oh, he's a beautiful specimen. He could really gallop. He was a really nice horse, and
Do you think gelding him earlier than what they did would have helped
I think it probably would have prolonged his career.
Yeah.
I think he.
And he would have won a proper race if
I
you...
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But how important is that, like, to get that timing right before those bad habits become permanent for those?
Well, I think from that Gosford day, I think it went downhill from there. So, and I think it just sort of slowly got worse, and you can work them harder and try and get the energy levels out of them, but they start picking up bad habits. They're hard to shake. So
We're big on that, aren't we? Like, we give the trainers the power to geld them or not.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, we work with them at home, but you work with them
Under pressure.
under pressure when it
Yeah.
matters. So that's where, like, us having our relationships with our trainers, they got to be strong.
Well, we want racehorses,
Yeah.
don't we?
exactly.
That's the most
Exactly right.
important thing.
Yeah.
We want a
Well,
racehorse.
the level
and-
we're buying it, you're not expecting to be developing stones. It'd be great if we do, but you've also got to take a common sense approach.
Yeah. Yeah, the level we're buying at, they're not going to have that page unless you, for some reason, get a freak out of the box.
Yeah, that's
he-
right. And realistically, stones these days are going to be winning stakes races 2 and 3-year-olds, not just doing it as a 3-year-old and up. But yeah, so there was a horse that I thought probably should have performed more on track. Then I moved on to I'm Excited. She won a Group 1, my first Group 1 on Slipper Day called the Galaxy. It was middle of COVID, so it was like winning a barrier trial. There was no crowd, there was
Really?
nobody there.
You were there?
I was there, yeah. Nothing was open, no bars were open.
No one to
windows,
high five or anything.
Nothing. Weren't allowed to shake hands. Weren't allowed to do
Well,
anything. No.
Adrian Bott was on the last pod, and then he said he hugged the foreman, and
Payne,
yeah,
yeah.
and he got a 3-month ban or something.
Yes.
The foreman did, yeah.
Really?
Same
Yeah.
day, yeah.
Yeah.
Farnham, yeah.
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 Oh, fun. And what is that? What he got it for?
Yes.
And funny enough, didn't I'm Excited have a Farnan
Yes.
this year? Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's such a small little world,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Both
So
from
what'd
Group
you
1 to the
do?
same
Like,
day.
just that would have been surreal,
Oh, it was
weird.
weird. Yes, it was. It was a dead set. It was like winning a barrier trial.
Did you go
There's no
home and drink
crowd,
like
there's
20
no-
beers or something?
Well, I'll give it a note. So let's just say that. But I walked off course, couldn't hug, couldn't shake anyone's hands. Walked off course carrying 2 trophies, and you're like,
No credit. It's just
what do we do now?
It'd be quite surreal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was
your biggest day on the track,
well, it wasn't that big a day. It was,
but like,
but I think we had a heap of tables booked on the day, and they all got cancelled because of COVID. Yeah. So that was probably one of the biggest races I won with credit.
yep.
Rocking by another So You Think. He won the English 3-year-old Millennium, and then he won the Sydney Stakes. So he's been a really good little buy. $20,000 from the Scone Farm. And he's been a great addition to the stable as well. So
20,000 into what with bonuses 2.7.
yes, yeah.
Not a bad return.
We'd dream of that. So why do you think, like, you've mentioned a couple of them there, why do you think your style suits those sort of horses?
I think I identified it a few years ago. I like the fact of sprinting families, the mares, over so you think over top of a mare with the sprinting page. I just think works, and I've just backed myself and I've bought a few of them and I've had success doing it. So why change what you think works?
And it seems like only now he's really getting the credit in the sales ring for what he's doing.
Well, I don't think he is.
Yes and no, I agree.
I think he is and he's not.
They're still producing Group 1 horses every year.
Yeah.
And
he's unders still.
And he stands for 100,000 service fee, and he's still doesn't. They're not bringing sales topics. You know, they're still viable. They're still very viable.
Yeah, and he's a good stallion. I don't know why.
I think it's a case of it. You just got to wait that little bit longer for them.
Well, we bought Queen's Rhapsody.
But if on type, if she was by something else at an Easter sale, we wouldn't have been able to buy her.
No, that's right.
But on type, I think she was cheap.
If she had been a
Zoostar, or
a premium stallion that which he is a premium stallion, so I think. But if it had been something different, probably makes double.
Yeah, I just think he's and I'll say I don't think he's respected enough for what he does.
No.
But even on the track, like 10 Group 1 wins in 2 hemispheres, like he's
freak.
Some horse.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and he's proven, like, not just on the track, but as a broodmare sire too.
Yeah.
Like he sired the broodmare sire of a slipper winner.
I think Pfieffer still, like, that's the key, like, for us as well. We with the So You Thinks, having the dam side with the speed injected, that's the key for, I think.
Yep.
I would rather have that, you know, flying spur cross, just like Queen's is, you know, like it's a proven cross, isn't it?
Yep.
And then we went back again at Magic's with the filly this year, a Bellevue girl.
Sedgen Ho.
Who he's now retired.
But she's a different product. She will be that 3-year-old product, I feel.
Yeah. Well, she's
lovely.
Got a bit of Queen's Rhapsody appearance about her. You know?
Yep.
It's stronger, not as long or leggy as like the typical So You Think style horses. So yeah, she'll be a really nice horse, and she's got that big sprinting family.
Yep, she's lovely. We've still got a few shares in, a few.
Yeah,
Yep.
and like we were saying, So You Think being a good broodmare sire, she offers like great residual value, being half to a Group 2 winner.
And Sedgen Ho, you know, one of the leading, they stayed in her as well.
Yeah, the leading farm for stakes winners in Australia the last 5 years. So we've ticked a lot of boxes with her.
Yeah.
Be a nice filly. It's just up to you now, Dave, not to mess her up.
She's also at the Breakers.
Yeah, she's been there, 2 weeks now?
2 weeks yesterday.
Yeah, so.
Any positive reports?
He's sending videos through today, so that when people watch this, it'll be late.
All the shares might be sold. You said, we touched earlier about you having your Group 1 winner in COVID and that. How good would it be, like how hungry would you be to get back there to have the proper feeling when there's full of crowds?
It's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we want to be there on the big days. You want to have the runners on the big meetings, and you know that's why we're searching and going to sales every year to try and find that next star for your stable. So
that's why we get up every morning, literally.
Yeah, and that's what makes it easier to, when you got nice horses in the barn. It makes it easier to put your shoes on in the morning and put a time for the races when you saddle up races and horses in big races.
Yeah.
And what time would you be up in the morning for the listeners? What's your normal day?
Well, they've just changed the starting times to the track now to 5 a.m, which sort of gives us a bit of relief. So right now my phone will probably go off at about 3:45. That gets me in there sort of a comfortable time. And
instead of 2:45?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's a big difference, you know. Big difference. It just helps your day a lot longer, and
especially when you've got kids as well.
Yeah.
Gives you that extra, I'll stay up half hour longer or...
Yeah, that's right. So
yeah,
that I think it's a positive move. There's a lot of people that are probably against it, but I think it's going to help the industry. It might get a bit tougher through winter because the starting time for the race will be a bit earlier, but I'm sure we'll work through it.
Yeah.
It's just something they'll have to adapt to and work around and that.
Correct.
So it's just getting too hard, I think, to entice people to that lifestyle, to work those hours.
Well, most have 2 jobs,
Yeah.
don't they? The track
A lot
work
of them do,
riders.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of them, they'll come in and do a few hours at stables and then go off and do a normal job through the day, or just have multiple roles.
Earn their $2,000 riding track work and go and work 40 hours for 800.
$2,000. You're being gentle.
Yeah.
You obviously haven't seen my payroll.
But it's really good money, isn't it? Like, I know they work for
bleeding
it.
every Thursday.
Is it hard to like retain good track work riders then? Or?
It's I think it's just providing a good work environment and having when you've got a small stable and you've got some quality in the stable and you've got a smaller team and everyone has that team environment. So that's probably the way I try and structure it, and have some good people in there. So, when it gets bigger, it's obviously harder again. So.
I've heard you've got one of the best priced vending machines in Warwick Farm.
Oh, yeah, I've told him the story.
The cheapest energy drinks around.
Yeah, would you say like people just lining up, and then the stable next door,
which charge an entry fee. Commission based.
Because I bought one, I said, "Fuck, these are quite cheap." And he told me this. It was a V for like, what was it, $4.80 or something.
On a Monday, there's 2 for $5.
I'll double dipping here because I also recycling the cans as well.
Smart businessman. Mate, we'll just touch briefly. We won't go into too much detail. You had a bit of a stint away. What did you do with your time away? And that was it hard seeing the horses that you used to train performing and being there and knowing whether it was good or bad. Maybe you could have done better. Or you would have done something different.
There's no doubt I could have done something better. But my brief holiday I had a couple of years ago was obviously my own fault, and I've just had to suck it up and do it. First couple of months was tough, change the routine, seeing all the stuff I couldn't have involvement in. But after you sort of mentally got through it all, it was good to be able to spend more time with the family. Just sitting with the kids. I've done a lot of fishing with the young fella. I ended up working a job doing a bit of air conditioning. But they're bloody useless at it. Feel sorry for them people that got aircon when I was working there.
They're sweating.
The warranty claims went through the roof.
That company's now shut down.
But a good feeling is you get to Friday afternoon and your week was over, your job was done, and it was
Monday to Friday.
Yeah, it was quite good. You get to the weekend and you wake up at normal time. You've done stuff on the weekend with the family and probably annoyed the hell out of them. Same again, like I said, I've done a bit of fishing and took kids out places on Sundays and sort of had a bit more involvement and whatnot. And then I got close to the back end of my time and the excitement started kicking in of getting back into training again and gathering a team back together. And I was quite overwhelmed with the support I got.
Was it a lot of your old owners that came back to you?
A lot of them did, a lot more than I thought would. But also too, I was also active at the sales and a lot more than I thought I would be. So it's also picked up good numbers in yearlings and whatnot, but then also got my team back together and then not long after we had Rocketing Pie that won the Sydney Stakes. So
that must have been some kick when he won $1.2 million race.
It was surreal how it all just come together so quickly, and you got some of the old staff back together, got some new staff there, and but having the support of the client base as well was overwhelming.
You would have celebrated that one.
There's a photo of me drinking champagne out of the Sydney Stakes trophy.
That's what you've got to do. And then Yamazaki as well.
Yeah, Yamazaki, she was a good little mare. She won a couple of good races, but she probably could have won a better stakes race. She won the Silk Stocking just before I got time.
You were flying before that, weren't you? You won the 2-year-old race was it at Scone and the Scone Cup as well?
Yeah. So I was going really good right before I got put on the sidelines, but it was good to come back in and then get the team rolling so quickly. It was a big help.
And all the staff, most of them came back.
A lot of them did, yeah. A lot of them were very eager to get back in the barn.
Those vending machine prices, of course, they were coming back.
And we will mention like the backbone that a lot of people probably wouldn't see is your foreman Sue.
Yeah,
like
so she's been with me for maybe 12 years, I reckon. So yeah, she's the backbone of the joint. She marches the staff around and gives me time to concentrate on, training schedules, programming, updates, and time with clients and so forth. And I've got the confidence that she's getting the staff and the treatments and bits and pieces done in the barn.
Yep.
You've had a bit of luck with the Bell River boys with I'm Excited, and you had Den Magic as well.
Yeah.
She was a good mare, wasn't she? Group 1
Yeah,
first.
yeah. So I've just recently picked up Den Magic's one of his foals.
The capitalist
foal,
yeah.
We also had Prophet's Thumb. She was a stakes winner as well for the farm. And I've still got Go Tropper on the barn. He's a Bell River horse. And obviously I'm excited. So yeah, we've had a lot of success together.
I sold a $1.1 million yearling now with Den Magic, her first foal.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah, I reckon you could run quicker than him though.
Yeah.
But no, she was beautiful. She was actually one of my favourite mares on the farm. Just beautiful nature.
Very good nature.
Yeah, beautiful looking. Yeah, so no, they do.
What has she done since? Has she had a?
No, she.
Well, Pfieffer would probably know more, wouldn't you?
She hasn't had anything really come out yet.
No, she only had a couple of foals,
Yeah.
but she's as a racehorse, she was a bit of a bridesmaid, to tell you the truth. She
Really?
only won a couple of races, but placed in a lot of stakes races, and probably unlucky not to win a Group 1. And I feel I underachieved with her as a racehorse.
Yeah, due to what, like soundness issue?
Just racing pattern.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep.
Didn't like wet tracks and got back and was unlucky a lot of times. There's a lot of hard luck stories. I think she hit the front in the Queensland Guineas, and she was 3 deep, no cover in the race, and still hit the front and just got run down late.
But beautiful in the barn, like just.
Yeah, just a good-natured mare and loved racing.
Beautiful looking too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she just put everything into racing.
Yeah.
What's the one race you'd love to win?
I don't know. I probably couldn't pinpoint one. I find the Cox Plate a very exciting race, but there's just so many races now.
We'll lane Queens for the Stradbroke.
Yeah, but
That's one of my mate.
with the
You
likes
love
of
that, don't you,
with
the
the Everest and the Golden Rose and the Golden Eagle, there's so many good races around.
Pop-ups
now.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's just this prize money in New South Wales is just so lucrative. I don't think it cares what race they win now. It's with the prize money it's around.
I was only saying it, and I'm not being rude to South Australia, like we're going to go to the Adelaide sale, and on a Saturday at Morphettville, 27,300 for first. That's Metro. Sydney, you're racing for 82 and a half.
Yeah.
There's a reason this is the strongest, at least sprinting racing in the world, isn't it?
But even like it's so competitive, whether you're in the city or not. Like we went to Orange with Supernova West.
To try and get a kill.
Bumped
and we
into Steffi Magnetic.
bumped into Steffi Magnetic
Ran
with Bjorn's
second in a
horse.
Group 1.
Yeah.
They ran
Beating
second.
the nose. Like,
No, but it went to Flemington next got
Unlucky,
beat,
yeah.
ran second, went to Randwick in a good race, ran third, and just ran second in a Group 1. We went there for a kill.
Yeah.
bumped into her in Orange. Like,
And then Bjorn comes out and goes, "No, this thing goes really good." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it does."
Yeah. Information will be better acceptance on the
but it just shows you how strong racing in South Wales is. But that, as you were saying, the prize money, like, there's no better time for people to get involved.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and I remember when I first started, the prize money was dismal. I think you were going to an hour for, I think it was 8,000 a winner or something like that. Yeah, so now it's probably doubled.
And if you, to our listeners, what are the reasons? Why would you entice people to get involved? What do you love about it?
It just adds that social factor that people are looking for things to do. It's also another part of a hobby. It's the way I look at it is a lot of people like fishing, a lot of people like playing golf, a lot of people like racing. You know, some people can afford to do all of it.
So is golf, to be honest.
But there's
some
no
people can
better
afford to do all of it. Some
there's no
people-
better feeling, is there?
No, that's right. Some people love the fact that they get a punters club together, they take a share in a horse, and they all get down to Roseville or Remick on a Saturday, and
The wives can go and have their day.
Yeah. Or they get an opportunity to dress up themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, the boys that won on the weekend when we were there, that they must have been in Think It Over. Jeez, they were giving it a good kick, weren't they? Remember the 4 lads? They all had the long hair.
Kerry, it must have been Kerry Parker's sons or grandsons.
Yeah, they were
They just filled the thing with them just drinking out of the. But that's what it's about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
walking
because
around
there's
with it all
so
day.
many bad days that we have.
Yep.
And especially like a horse like him, he had 18 months off. So there's a lot of emotion put into
But
that.
that one good day, I think we can all agree, it is so worth it, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. Well, it's only a midway race, but Mad Darcy won on Saturday, and there was at least 50 owners there. And they
There was
Mate, there was so many,
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And the amount of emails I've had of saying it's one of the best days of my life, and yada yada. And some others said the other things they probably shouldn't say. And but
Should have seen the wave that they all walked
they just
past.
kept
Is it?
coming and
It was
coming.
crazy. Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
biggest ownership group I've seen in the day.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's so good just seeing so many people that were touched on a win, and so many people being there and involved in it on the day. So it's
On
just
a
great to see.
Saturday.
Well, we
Yeah.
get so surprised sometimes that some owners, they just never go racing.
Yeah,
And like, that's the thrill.
Yeah,
of it.
they're just
That's
happy
the
sitting at home
experience.
and.
yeah,
To get there,
Especially on the
amongst
big
it.
days, like what was there, 2 or 3 Group 1s,
yeah.
2 or 3 stakes, they're the days.
Well, that's probably what helps. You know, when people are going around in these let's say, midway race, but they get the opportunity to be going to racing on a Group 1 day and enjoying the whole day. And
Senior
and all the good
Storm
horses.
Boys.
Win or
the
lose,
fangirls,
it's a
yeah.
good day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is. It's about the experience. You got to get amongst it, and that's the best part of it. What would you reckon, mate, would be the hardest part about being a trainer, in your opinion?
there's a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, a lot of them. So,
Taking George's calls.
He only abuses me over my suntan.
Yeah, what suntan?
Yeah, exactly. Heard the lift's broken.
He sees the
right
number,
now.
he's like, fuck.
Next time we met up, I'll bring some coconut oil. Yeah.
He's always into, to our listeners, Pfeiffer's always into George about how white he is.
Yeah. White.
Keeps bringing up coconut oil too.
Milky. We'll start calling him Casper. But no, there's a lot of ups and downs, and it's sometimes it can be mentally strain, and you've just got to be able to get through it and get over it and move on. And you know, whether it's getting beaten a big day, or the horse performed poorly, or something breaks down, and you know, there's a lot of hard calls to be made. There's a lot of hard phone calls got to be made, but there's also a lot of good ones. So.
And just the relentless, like it's 24/7.
Yep.
That's what I probably find, and we only deal with spellers, but like your horses are under pressure, in the work condition. It is, and so much shit can go wrong.
Yeah.
in.
Racing's non-stop. Yeah.
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 But even like you have everything, every box ticked, the horse is flying, you think it's all going to go well. And like so many little things can go wrong, like how they run the race.
Yeah.
It might have a downpour of rain, and
Yeah.
they might come off the fence, and you think you have a perfect barrier.
Yeah.
Just so many little things.
Smallest little things, yeah.
Yeah.
The track bias or miss the kick.
I hit us Saturday.
Yeah.
Like even that you expect a tempo, and then if there's no tempo and your horse needs, it's all those little things.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's no chance then.
Yeah.
But what I think what's important is still remembering that, and especially that the owners need to still remember that we still have families away from
Yeah.
racing. Like that's our life, but you've still got to go home to the wife and kids
Yeah.
and be a
You
dad.
got to be able to separate it sometimes.
You're
too,
just a
that's
normal person,
Yeah.
at the end of it, just like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you escape from that then, Dave, if you've had a bad day or if you actually managed to get a bit of time off? Or you're still doing a bit of fishing, or you've given up the aircon?
Mute your calls.
No, I've been fishing for a while actually. I suppose just once you get home, you've just got to learn to switch your brain off and muck around the kids, and I suppose enjoy a beer and just mentally get over it and move on to the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what
You
gotta
can't.
do.
Yeah, you can't procrastinate. You have to just put it aside and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, guys. So how do people follow us or whatever?
Yeah, and we're on Spotify, YouTube, all the platforms. Follow, subscribe, share it with your friends. Get everyone involved.
And guys, if we do have shares available in the Castelvecchio filly or the So You Think filly, if we do, once this comes out, get involved. Give Dave a ring if you want to ask about the filly, or give George a ring. Doesn't matter who you call, we'll tell you all about them. But really nice horses, but different. The Castelvecchio, I think, will be quite sharp and quite early.
Yep.
And I think the So You Think will probably be that later 2-year-old type, 3-year-old, and so on. So, give the boys a call.
Yeah.
Thanks for
your
coming in,
time,
mate.
Dave.
Beautiful. Thanks, guys.
All good?
Good. Do we mention?